Hi YouTube, I'm back with another one. Today I am going to be sharing with you how I got my period back after not having it for pretty much my entire life, how I navigated through this process, finding out that I may have PCOS, and then coming to the conclusion through my research and experience that I actually had hypothalamic amenorrhea. So I told myself I wasn't going to make this video until I got 3 periods in a row. This past New Year, I was on my 3rd period, and so I finally trust myself and my body enough to make this video, and I finally feel confident. I've never had 3 periods in a row in my life. I'm so happy to be making this video. My first step, and this is very important, is to get your hormones checked. This can be by a medical doctor, this can be by a naturopathic doctor. Any way you can, get your hormones checked. This is a step that some of you may not do. And I used to be like that. I used to try and do everything myself and self-diagnose in a way, and then buy supplements and try and change my lifestyle to what I thought was really happening to my body. Women's bodies and our hormones are so complex. Seriously, the most important thing that you can do before you start your journey of curing your amenorrhea. If you can get your hormones checked by a naturopathic doctor, if you have the finances to afford one, and if you have the time, I would do that. I actually didn't do that. I just got mine done by a medical doctor. I'll share a resource later in this video that is great for you if you have a medical doctor, but you need to know which tests to ask for and how to talk to your doctor. Number 2 is to take a look at your health, your lifestyle, and figure out why you're not cycling, which you may not be able to figure out straight away. You can look at your hormone levels, and then you can research those specific levels, whatever ones that you feel are high or they show that they're high or low. What does this hormone do? What is the function of this hormone? For me, I had high levels of DHEAS. DHEAS, I learned, is released by your adrenal glands. So that indicated to me that I had a lot of stressors in my life. I'm sure that you know this if you've done any other research before, but stress is a huge reason why people don't get their periods. I looked at my test results, and there's other things. I also had a vitamin D deficiency. I had some other levels that were a little bit off. So here's what I could conclude in my life that I wasn't doing right. I wasn't doing enough of, or I was doing too much of. Number 1, I had an eating disorder. I wasn't eating enough. And number 2, I had a lot of digestive issues. So not only was I not eating, but my digestion was just shot. And number 3, specifically with my food, I wasn't eating enough carbs. I was eating only fats and only protein. Then I would eat a ton of carbs one day. I was trying all these fad diets. I was trying carb cycling. I was trying no carb, low carb. I found out about relative energy deficiency. You don't eat enough for the amount of exercise you're doing. So you're exercising a lot. You're using a lot of energy and calories, but you're not supplementing your exercise with calories. Whenever you work out, anything you do, you always need to eat more. So after I took a look at my life and I figured out what my main stressors were. There's more to that list. Those are just some examples that I think are pretty common. And if you have hypothalamic amenorrhea or any sort of amenorrhea and you are a low BMI or a low body fat percentage, you probably have hypothalamic amenorrhea. I thought I had PCOS because the ultrasound had showed that I had cysts on my ovaries, but my testosterone was normal. I quickly realized through my research that I had hypothalamic amenorrhea. Well, my 3rd step is to eat nutrient-rich foods and eat a lot of them. Coming from a background with an eating disorder, I knew that I needed to gain weight. That was obvious to me. Having an understanding that you need to gain weight and then setting a goal for yourself to get your period is what really helped me to overcome my eating disorder. So I ate a ton. I ate right when I woke up to when I was about to go to sleep. I ate throughout the day. And this is a time where you can cherish and take care of your body and heal your body. And you have to remember that every single bite of food that you eat is one step closer to getting your period back. And on top of that, I was eating nutrient-rich foods. I was also eating junk food, meats and eggs and milk and dairy, and I was eating everything. I had no restrictions, and I was just eating in surplus. And that was by far the best thing that I did. I mean, if you have hypothalamic amenorrhea or amenorrhea in general, you don't know why, and you are underweight, even if you're on the lower end of the spectrum of being normal, I was eating twice as much as I was before. So it was a lot, and it was great. I loved it. It was difficult and challenging at times because of my history with my eating disorder, but it was so good because I knew that I was always one step closer to getting my period back. your HPA axis, not communicating with your ovaries and your pituitary gland to give your body a period. Eating is a way that you can literally tell your body, you can trust me. This is me telling my body that I can handle this, that it can trust me to be fertile and have a period, which is so important for your health. Another thing I did to kind of help me facilitate my weight and my weight gain was to buy a scale, a body fat percentage BMI scale. This can be up to you. Take it with a grain of salt, because if it's triggering for you, I wouldn't recommend buying a scale. I'm such a goal-driven person that stepping on the scale and seeing my weight go up for the first time in my life, that was my goal. I am trying to get my period back, so I have to gain weight. I need to see the number go up. If the number's not going up, I need to eat more. I'll put it here and you can see my weight just skyrocket. And I didn't get my period back this whole time. I was still not ovulating, but to know that I was getting somewhere was super important to me. So that was a long, big category for number 3. Number 4 is to evaluate your stressors in your life that aren't eating. Everyone has different stressors and they can come from so many areas of your life. The main ones that I was experiencing were high stress from exercise and high stress from not eating enough. I was also experiencing a lot of stress from my job. I was modeling at the time, so I had an added pressure to be lean, and on top of it, I was on my feet all day, every day, famished and fatigued from working all day. To address my exercise stress, I had to stop exercising. It's crazy scary to think about stopping exercise, right? So important for you to be sedentary. I did a little bit of yoga about once or twice a week, and I did walking. I didn't do any cardio, I didn't do any HIIT. I just walked. I didn't walk 100 miles, I just walked 1 mile, maybe less. Eating more and exercising less is the exact opposite of everything I was doing before, but those were the most important things I did. Is ask yourself, am I actually eating enough? And am I actually giving my body adequate rest? Every time you exercise, your body goes into a state of stress. That stress is just dumping on your already stressed out body, and you won't get your period. Sad. Also, I stopped working as much as a model. It was kind of coincidental. I started to gain weight, and I thought, I'm risking my career. People wanted me because I was, a size 00. I ended up losing some of my clients, and I ended up actually not being represented by my agency, which forced me to take a break from work, and that's kind of an interesting thing. Maybe that's another video. And I know that's not, most of the people who are watching this aren't in that situation, but if you have a really stressful job, then you definitely need to supplement that in some way. If that's setting boundaries and telling yourself or telling the people that you work with, like, hey, after 6 o'clock, like, I'm not gonna work, I'm not gonna check my work email, then do that if you can. Taking a little walk during your lunch break, if that means meditating a little bit at work, that means seeing a therapist. That's a great thing to do. Another thing I did within this whole stressed out situation, me evaluating my stress, was to really hone in on my spiritual practice. I've talked about this before. Develop a spiritual practice if you don't have one, or to really deepen your spiritual practice if you do have one. It was just a really important time for me to pray and read scripture. I prayed with my hands on my ovaries for my period every single day. Okay, number 5 is a little bit, this is something that many people misuse, including myself. Number 5 is supplements. If you go to your MD, medical doctor, your OB/GYN, and you get a blood test, like I told you to do with number 1, they will probably offer you the birth control pill, or they'll probably offer you the Rivera challenge, which they did for me. You can choose to not take those. You can take those if you want, but I don't recommend that route. So supplements and vitamins that you can take totally depend on your blood tests. I am guilty of buying supplements as a way to get my period back when I didn't actually know what was wrong with me. These weren't bad, but I didn't actually need those. And I wasn't doing the other things that I'm mentioning in this video, and I wasn't getting my period back. Supplements that I took for my situation: ashwagandha, magnesium, cod liver oil, vitamin D3. Like I said, I was taking some other ones. I was taking licorice and I was taking inositol, but inositol is not really something that's for hypothalamic amenorrhea. It's more for PCOS, very specific to my blood test and my needs. So we got the supplements out of the way, and step number 6 is to sleep at least 9 hours every night. If you're somebody who likes to wake up really early or go to bed really late, no. Not anymore. It's time for you to get 9 hours of sleep. Rest as much as you can. Don't set an alarm when you don't have to. And if you have to get up for work, if you have to get up for school, go to bed. Honor your body, take the naps. Take all the naps you need. Number 7 is to do something for you. I actually went to Bali on a yoga retreat, and I ended up getting my period on like the 3rd day that we were there. Timing was just so divine. This morning, I got my period, and I cannot believe it, and I'm so excited. I'm nearly about to cry. Not everyone can take a trip. My point here is to do something for you. Go on a girls trip, a road trip, book a massage, go horseback riding, whatever you like, and do it with the intention of healing. And I'm not saying you're going to get your period when you go on a trip or when you book a massage, but my point is however much you need to do something for you, like this is your time. It's your time to eat more, exercise less, and do something for you. Read this book. This is the Amenorrhea Bible. It's called No Period, Now What by Nicola Rinaldi, and this book is full of encouragement. It's full of scientific facts. It's full of studies. It is what facilitated my recovery throughout the entire process of recovery. Anything that you want to know about amenorrhea and not having your period is in this book. Every single thing that you want to know. How to talk to your doctor. I mean, if you don't do anything from this video, pick up this book. Another book that I recommend that I really like, this is more after you get your cycle back, because you will. This is called Period Repair Manual by Laura Bryden. It helps you kind of learn about your period. This gave me a lot of insight on how my period is working in the different functions of my body and systems of my body that are required to get my period back and to have a period and to have a cycle, have a healthy cycle. The last step I have for you is maybe kind of an eye roller, but it's to be patient and be persistent. I was hopeless. I did not think I would get my period back. I thought there was something wrong with my body. I thought I'm destined to have mental issues in my whole life. I'm never going to be able to have my period back. I'm destined to be stressed. I'm destined to have an eating disorder. I'm destined to never have children, whatever it is. You will absolutely get it back. It takes 4 months until your body will ovulate. 4 months, that's a long time. So if you have gotten to a point where you're like, highest weight I've been, or I'm at the healthiest I've ever been, I have a high BMI, I'm in a normal range, whatever it is, and you still don't have a period, like this is the time to continue. That's exactly where you need to be. You need to keep going, because one day, like me, you'll wake up and you'll have it back, and it's going to be the best day ever, and it's going to be so amazing to have this feminine power and gift back into your life. Just continue on this journey, and I'm right here with you. That's all I have for this video. Please let me know if you have any questions. Bless you, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!